Hello students, this is Dr. Dakshayani, Assistant Professor from Department of Zoology, Maharani Science College for Women, Bengaluru. Students, in this session, let us study and understand about apiculture, emphasizing on species of honeybees and beekeeping and management practices under economic zoology. The contents as follows: introduction, species of honeybee, social organization of honeybee, life cycle and development, methods of beekeeping and management practices. Students, as we all know that economic zoology is the branch of zoology which deals with the application of zoological knowledge for the benefit of mankind, which includes culturing of animals for mass production for human use, and at the same time controlling or eradication of animals that are injurious to man directly or indirectly. Students, under economic zoology, today we shall study and understand about apiculture. Apiculture, it is also known as beekeeping, where in Latin apis means bee. So apiculture or beekeeping is the scientific method of rearing and maintenance of honeybee colonies, commonly in hives by humans. For more precisely, it can be defined as apiculture is the technique of rearing honeybee on commercial scale for the purpose of getting honey and bee products like wax, royal jelly, etc., and also to increase the productivity of the agricultural field. You must be wondering, what is the importance of apiculture, or what you call the beekeeping? Apiculture is done not only to collect the honey and to get the other bee products like bee wax, propolis, pollen and royal jelly and etc. It also plays a very important role where it is done to pollinate the crops in order to increase the agricultural yield. Apiculture is also done to produce the bees in larger scale for sale to the other beekeepers. Studies also proven that the medicinal value of honey and their products, including honeybee's venom, where it is the mixture of proteins, has the capability of destroying the AIDS virus. In apiculture, apiary or bee yard, it is the location where the colonies are maintained to collect honey, and the one who maintain the honeybee colonies called as apiarist or beekeeper. Coming to the history of apiculture. Historical evidences shows that apiculture was thought to be practiced as early as 13,000 BC, where the use of honey as food and as medicine in human civilization was in practice since its prehistoric period, where it has been shown in the religious literatures like Vedas, Puranas, Ramayana, Mahabharata, and also in Charaka Samhita. The earliest known methods of beekeeping are recorded on the walls of ancient Egyptian tombs, where Egyptians were not knowing about the sugar. In order to sweeten the cakes and breads, the Egyptians were totally relied on the honey, which is produced by the honeybees. And the method of extracting the honey in those days was the crude method. And after the invention of artificial hive to extract the honey from the honeybees, and this invention of artificial hive, which was by the Longstreth in 1951, which led to the scientific way of extracting the honey from honeybees on commercial scale. In this slide, the picture depicts the art of extracting the honey from the honeybees, and it is shown on the tombs of Papas in Egypt, on the Egyptian tombs. Honeybees. When you see the systematic position of honeybees, it belongs to phylum Arthropoda, class Insecta, order Hymenoptera, family Apidae, and the genus is Apis. Coming to the habit and habitat, honeybees are highly organized social insects where they are found to be more active during spring and summer. They exhibit polymorphism, means they exist in different forms in the same colony, and they show division of labor where a particular group of honeybees in the colony takes a particular function to maintain the colony. These honeybees construct the hive which hangs down from the branches or the walls of the buildings. The structural and functional unit of honeybee colony is the workers, where they communicate by performing the round and the waggle dance to communicate with the fellow members to indicate the distance and the availability of food from their hive. Species of honeybees, where there are more than 20,000 species of wild bees. Among them, only 4 species of honeybees are studied in detail. They are Apis dorsata, which is commonly called as a rock bee, Apis indica, which is commonly known as Indian bee, Apis florea, commonly known as little bee, Apis mellifera, which is commonly known as European bee. The first one, Apis dorsata, where it is commonly known as the rock bee. Among the 4 bees which are studied in detail, it is largest bee, measuring about 17 to 20 millimeter in length, and hence they are called as giant honeybee. They are also known as sarang and bambara, where They prefer to live in exposed places at high altitude. They are actually the wild bees found living in the forest and the caves and on the rocks. The workers of the honeybee colonies, they are very smart and very active, where they pollinate for about 12,000 flowers in a day. These bees yields maximum amount of honey when it is compared to other honeybees, where they construct a single comb which can yield for about 60 pounds of honey, that is approximately 27.5 kg of honey from the single comb. These honeybees are very aggressive in nature and they are migratory in nature. Hence, these honeybees cannot be domesticated easily. The next one is the Apis indica, which is known as the Indian bee or the Asian bee, which is commonly found in the forest and in the plain regions of India. They are slightly smaller when it is compared to Apis dorsata, and they prefer to live in dark places and construct several parallel combs. They are placed 1 feet across the protected places like cavities of trunks or the mud walls or the earthen pots or in the thick bushes, wells and walls of the buildings. This can be noticed in the picture in the slide. These species are very gentle in nature, means they are not harmful, so it can be domesticated easily. And they produce for about 6 to 7 pounds from each comb what they construct, that is approximately 2.5 to 3 kgs per comb. The third one is the Apis florea, which is known as the little bee because it is one of the smallest honeybee among the four, which yields very small meager amount of honey, where they construct a small single coop and is exposed to the places where in the open fields, and they can be domesticated and they have a very rare stinging behavior. They construct the combs or the hives which can be easily removed for the extraction of honey. But these bees are not social, that means they are aggressive in nature. Hence, there is no point in domesticating such bees where they construct a single comb and the yield of honey is very meager, that is they yield very poor amount of honey. So it is not best suited for the apiculture to produce the honey. The fourth one is the Apis mellifera, which is called as the European bee, where out of its several varieties, Italian variety is the reared everywhere in Europe and America in artificial hives for the honey. They produces less amount of honey, but found to be the best species among the commercial point of view, because they are easily domesticable. They prefer to live in dark places and construct several parallel combs. And due to their obedient, that is they are not that gregarious nature, where they can be easily domesticated. The picture depicts the Apis mellifera and the hives which are constructed parallelly, and the bees which are very polite in nature. Table depicts the 4 different species of honeybees, their habitat, nesting behavior and rearing. Honeybee colony. As we all know that honeybees are highly social organized insects. They live in colonies, and the colony consists of 3 castes. The one is queen, which is a fertile female. The other one is the drone, fertile male. And the third one is the worker, which is a sterile female. You can have a look at the 3 castes of the honeybee colony. The queen, which is the fertile female, where queen is the well-developed fertile female with fully developed ovaries, where it is the only female which is fertile and has the capacity to lay the fertilized eggs. Generally, in the colony, only one queen will be present, and its main function is to just lay the eggs. Hence, it is regarded as the mother of the colony, and queen can lay for about 1500 to 2000 eggs per day. Apart from laying eggs, the queen cannot perform any other duties of the colony, and the queens are fed on royal jellies, which is secreted by the worker bees, and the queen can be easily identified by its size, where it is the largest among the members of the colony, where this queen measures for about 15 to 20 millimeter in length, and it has got a long tapering abdomen. The lifespan of queen is generally 2 to 5 years, and it possesses the flexible string, that is the ovipositor, which can be used multiple times at the time of flighting with another queen in the same hive. The queen lives in the royal chamber, that is in the queen cell, which can be used only once in the hive. Drones. Drones are the fertile males which have developed from the unfertilized eggs, means the drones are formed by parthenogenesis, and they are the fertile males. The main function of the drones is to mate with the queen and fertilize the queen. This happens during the nuptial flight, where the queens identify the drones, where the drones having the larger eyes, and they are sighted by the queen in the air, and the drones mates the queen in order to fertilize the queen, and after nuptial flight, that is marriage flight, means in simple terms it is after mating, the drones are chased out of the colony because they do not take up any function or they do not perform any function in the colony. They totally depend upon the workers for their food. During winter season, the worker bees chases the drones out of the colony due to scarcity of food. After nuptial flight, where the drones dies, whereas the queen enters the hive to lay the eggs. The third caste in the honeybee colony are the worker bees, where they are the sterile females and they are developed from the fertilized eggs. The worker bees are regarded as the structural and functional unit of the colony, where they are the only group of honeybees in the colony which takes up all the functions of the colony in order to maintain the hive. The lifespan of the worker bee is for about 6 weeks. During its lifespan, that is during the initial phase, the worker bees performs the indoor functions such as providing nourishment to the developing larvae, wax production, cleaning the hive and maintaining the temperature by fanning, and also defending the hive. And the last phase of its lifespan, it performs outdoor duties like it goes out of the hive in search of nectar, pollen and water collection, and also produces propolis. The worker bees possess a sting, that is a ovipositor, which is used only once in its lifespan and it becomes functionless. The worker bees possess a well-developed chewing and lapping type of mouthparts. They also possess a long proboscis for sucking the nectar, and they also possess the strong wings for fanning, that is to maintain the temperature during the seasonal changes. Their legs, that is the thoracic legs, possess the pollen basket to collect the pollen from the flowers, and they also possess the wax glands for the wax production during the construction of the comb. They secrete or they produce the royal jelly from their hypopharynx gland, which are present on the head region. Workers are the group of or the members of the colonies which perform all the essential functions to maintain the hive in the colony. Coming to the nesting behavior in the honeybee colony, it is nothing but the establishment of the colony, where the honeybee colony is established by performing the nuptial flight or the marriage flight, where the male and the female honeybees, they mate. As a result, the queen is fertilized, and after the nuptial flight, where the fertilized queen starts developing the capability to lay the eggs. The other way of establishing colony is that swarming, where it is the process of living off the colony by the queen. When hive get overcrowded in summer by the food, the queen inevitably leaves the hive with some of its old drones and the workers, where it establishes a new hive at another place. In the old hive, where the worker is fed with the royal jelly, where the worker bee becomes the new queen and it orders to kill the other siblings in the hive. The other way of establishing the colony is that supersedure, where when the old queen dies or when it loses the capability of laying the eggs, in place of which a new and active vigilant queen will be formed, where it takes up the place of queen, where it establishes the new colony. The another way of establishing the colony is that absconding, that is when the colony migrates from one place to another place due to some destruction of comb by the termites or some predators, or maybe due to the scarcity of food availability. These honeybees from the colony, they migrate from one place to another place to establish the new colony, and this way of establishing colony is called as absconding. The life cycle and development of honeybees. The life cycle of honeybee starts from the performing the nuptial flight, that is mating of queen with the drones, where the mating takes place while flying and only one drone mates with the queen. Soon after mating, the drone dies off and the queen returns to the hive, and after mating, queen stores the sperms in her spermatheca, that is the sperm storer, and queen has the ability to control the release of sperms as and when required from the spermatheca. This slide shows the life cycle and type of development of the honeybees. In honeybees, the life cycle is said to be holometabolous, that is, it's said to be complete, where it shows the 3 stages of development, that is hatching of larvae from the egg and development of pupa from the larvae and metamorphosis of pupa into adult. Here in this slide you can see the life cycle of honeybee. After mating, the fertilized queen starts laying the eggs in the brood cell in the comb. Once it lays the egg, the worker bees feeds the newly hatched larvae, and the larvae, when it reaches the maximum size where the worker bees seizes the brood cell, it allows the larvae to undergo metamorphosis and transform into pupa, and later the pupa metamorphoses into adult, and the adult honeybee emerges out of the brood cell. In the same slide, look at the type of development where the 3 different castes of the honeybees are developed. From the fertilized egg, the queen is developed upon feeding the royal jelly. The worker, the other caste is the worker, which develops from the fertilized egg upon feeding on bee bread. And the third caste is the drone, that is the males in the colony. They are developed from the unfertilized egg but they are fertile males. These are the three castes which are developed in the honeybee colony. The queen and the worker, which are developed from the fertilized eggs, and the drone, that is male, developed from the unfertilized egg. This table depicts the stages of development in the life cycle of honeybee, where the worker develops and it takes for about 21 days. The queen develops for about 16 days, and the drone takes for about 24 days to develop. Coming to the methods of apiculture, that is beekeeping. The ultimate aim of beekeeping is to get more and more honey in pure form. The old method commonly used by old apiculture is very crude and cruel, and it is of unplanned type. This old method is known as indigenous method. In indigenous method, there are two types of hives used for beekeeping. One is wall or fixed hive, the other one is movable hive. The wall or fixed hive, it is purely natural type of comb because the bees themselves prepare the hive at any space on the wall or the trees, and there is only one opening on one side through which the bees come out of the hive. The other one is the movable hive. It comprises of hollow wood logs, empty boxes and earthen pots where they are placed in verandas of the houses, and it has got the two exits, that is two holes. One is for the entrance, the other one is for the exit of the bees. In movable hive, where the swarmed bees usually come to the box on their own, and some of the beekeepers where they take the clusters of the swarms from tree and keep them in the movable hives, and it is the traditional beekeepers who practices the indigenous type of beekeeping using movable hive. The picture shows the typical movable hive while practicing the indigenous type of beekeeping. In the indigenous type of beekeeping, where the extraction of honey, it is done by burning the fire, that is bringing the burning fire near to the beehive at the night, as a result of which bees are either killed or they escape off. Further, the hive will be full of honey which is being removed and cut into pieces, and they are squeezed to get the honey. Sometimes the smoking is done so that the bees can escape from their hives. Through this way, the honey can be extracted in the indigenous method of beekeeping. But there are certain drawbacks in practicing the indigenous method. That is, in this method, that is indigenous method of beekeeping, which suffers from a number of drawbacks, due to which it is not recommended by the present day the panels. And the drawbacks are that is the honey becomes impure because at the time of squeezing the brood cells, the pollen cells, honey cells and the larvae are also extracted along with the honey, and the colonies becomes weak due to killing of the eggs and the larvae at the time of squeezing, and during which the formation of new hives by the escaped bees may require extra energy effort that may not be having these bees, and the activities of the bees can be controlled. The construction of new hives by the bees on the same place is only a matter of chance, and the honey robbers like rat, ant, wasp and monkeys may affect the hives very easily in the indigenous method of beekeeping, and the race improvement program may not be applied, so no possibilities for the selection of the best bees in this method. And there are number of hazards created by the climatic factors and which cannot be controlled in the indigenous method of beekeeping. Coming to the modern method of apiculture, the drawbacks of indigenous method, an advanced method based on scientific facts has been developed. It has opened a new era for the cottage industry in India and has also given an opportunity for lakhs of unemployed. And the persons keep them busy in this business. And from this cottage industry, programs, routine the agriculture work may not affect, that is may not suffer. And first of all, the care was taken to improve the texture of hives, and during this race hive pattern were introduced in India. For the first time, modern beehives was designed by the Longstreth in 1851 based on the bee space theory, that is, there must be a optimum distance kept between the two adjacent comb surfaces in the beehive, which is essential for normal movement and functioning of bees. And in this modern method of beekeeping, there are two types of hives are used. In general, for Apis mellifera, they use the Longstreth type of hive, and for Apis indica, they use Bureau of Indian Standard hive, which is known as the BSI hive A and B type. The appliances used in modern method of beekeeping, that includes the four types. One is typical movable hive, the other one is uncapping knife, third one is honey extractor, the fourth one is the other equipments. Coming to the typical movable hive, the slide shows the typical movable hive and its parts. The typical movable hive consists of the 7 parts, that is the hive stand, bottom board, brood chamber, queen excluder, honey super, inner cover and outer or top cover. you can have a look at this picture. The typical movable hive which is used in the field and the parts of the movable hive. And the size and the number of frames which are used in the typical movable hive depends upon the need as well as the size of the typical movable hive. And the holes, that is the perforation size in the zinc sheet, it is only of 0.375 centimeter, but the abdomen of queen is for about 0.43 to 0.45 centimeters, which cannot be passed through this pore. So in order to avoid the escape of queen in the zinc sheets, the perforation size is kept only 0.375 centimeter. Coming to the typical movable hive structure, the first part is the hive stand. You can have a look at the picture. The hive stand is the basal part of the hive where it supports the bottom board of the hive, and it can be adjusted to make a slope so that the rainwater drains down very quickly. The second part is the bottom board where it is situated above the hive stand, and it forms the proper base for the typical movable hive. It has got two gates. One gate is for the entrance, the other one is for the exit for the honeybees. The third part is the brood chamber. The brood chamber is used for rearing the brood, and it consists of the number of frames ranging from 5 to 10, and they are placed in the brood chamber with wax coating which acts as a comb foundation where the bees construct the combs by using the comb foundation, and these frames are placed vertical in position, and the distance is maintained between the two frames, that is for about 6 to 9 millimeter, and this distance has to be maintained to avoid the attachment of two adjacent frames, and this distance also makes easy for the movement of the honeybees as well as to take the frames out very easily. So in this picture you can have a look at the frame structure where each frame depends upon the size of the typical movable hive, that is the size of the frame, and this frame is coated with the wax which acts as a comb foundation where it acts as a base for the construction of the combs by the bees. The fourth part of the typical movable hive is the queen excluder, where it is actually a mesh which is made up of wire or the plastic, and it is placed between the brood chamber and the super chamber in order to avoid the egg laying in the super chamber by the queen. And these sheets, that is the wire which is made up of zinc, and these zinc sheets are assembled in such a way that only the workers can pass through them but not the queen. The fifth part of the typical movable hive is the honey super, where it is without the cover and the base, and it is provided with many frames containing the comb foundation frames, where this will provide the additional space for the worker bee to expand the hive and also to store the excess of honey in this chamber. The sixth part in the typical mobile hive is the inner cover. You can have a look at this picture, where the inner cover is the wooden piece used for covering of the super chamber, and it has got many holes for proper ventilation to the chambers below it. The last part of the typical mobile hive is the outer or top cover, where it is the plain and sloping zinc sheet, and it acts as a lid and the roof which is placed over the inner cover, and it gives the protection from the rain as well as from the sunlight. The other parts of the appliances which is used in the modern method of beekeeping is the uncapping knife, where it is the large sized knife which is electric, and this knife is heated and it is used to scrape out the wax which are coated on the comb, that is the brood cells which are filled with the honey are sealed with the wax, and this can be easily scraped out using this uncapping knife which is heated before using it. This is used to scrape out the wax on the surface of the comb to extract the honey. The honey extractor, here you can have a look at this honey extractor. It is like a chamber having the vertical compartments to place the frames with completely formed combs. And this honey extractor, it is used for extraction of honey from the comb, and it runs based on the principle of centrifugal force, where once the completely formed combs, that is the frames with the combs, are removed from the hive and they are placed in the honey extractor, and the extractor chamber is run, and this extractor functions based on the principle of centrifugal force, where it is spun at particular speed, and because of this force the honey is squeezed out from the combs, and as a result the honey is extracted and drained out from this frames. The other equipments which are used in the modern beekeeping is the comb foundation mill, where it is used to print the natural cell size of the desired comb foundation seed. The other one is the bee veil, which is used for preventing the bee stings on the face and the neck. You can have a look at this picture. The other one is the smoker, where it is used to calm down the bees while opening the hive. And some of other materials like the protective garments, hand gloves, net veils and bee net brushes, and these are some of these materials which are required for easy and well planned handling of bees during beekeeping. Students, hope you could understand in detail about apiculture, emphasizing on species of honeybees and beekeeping and management practices. These are the few references from books and website. Thank you.